Spinny, man. The Vikings 3-0. I did not see this coming, man, from our squad. Skull City, like your headline says, man. Holy shit. What has been the biggest surprise to you through these first 3 weeks?
We were big on these guys preseason. We were big on the Vikes, I think. We thought that 9-10 win range was available, but even we did not see this level of play from the Vikes. I really did not
Wow.
see it at all. I'm gonna start with what I think is the most important, and it might be the most low key even, and that's the coaching difference that we've seen on both sides of the ball.
Facts.
KOC's play calling thus far has been immaculate. Like, absolutely run past balance, getting Darnold in situations where he is comfortable.
Yep.
And the offensive line, like, Darisaw is worth every cent we gave him.
He's
Um,
so freaking good.
yeah,
He's so
It's prime Tyron Smith vibes. It really is.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the style
honestly.
he plays with, and he's so freaking big and strong. It's awesome. O'Neal doing the same thing on the other side. Has been very good run blocker, and even our interior line has played better than I thought. But sorry, little sidetrack there. To go back to the point, KOC immaculate play calling. Brian Flores making really
It's
good quarterbacks look like they're seeing ghosts.
yeah, they're
It's
confused as hell. They don't know what's
unreal.
going on.
The against Houston, when they ran that man look with eight
Yeah.
guys on the line and
Drop the
then
cover two.
backed out of it, played cover two. Harry was the corner, and they had Murphy playing safety. It
Yeah.
was it was like that's the stuff that really has been making the difference. CJ Stroud had the worst game of his NFL career, and he looked like he had no idea what was going on. And what I love is the most two common guys that we're seeing of trees in the NFL right now are McVay and Shanahan.
Yep.
And Flores shuts down the Shanahan offense. We've seen it 2 weeks in a row with San Fran and Houston, and he just makes them look real silly. And I think that plays into our advantage going into later in the season and in the playoffs if we make it, like, because we're going to have the best matchup against a lot of those teams.
Do we have the best 1-2 in terms of coaches? Offensive play caller, defensive play caller? I mean, we're obviously up there, right?
I mean, yeah, LaFleur has done an unbelievable job at play calling in Green Bay this year. I feel like that win with Malik Willis was very impressive to me. Um, and I think we've seen it from McVay, keeping the Rams in these games that they should
Right.
not be in. But I think, outside of those two, and you can talk about, Tomlin's defense, outside of that, like, both Vikings guys are there as far as top,
Right.
unit coaches
Well,
in the
like
league
even
right now.
even the Tomlin, it's like Arthur Smith's calling the plays on the offensive side. Like
Yeah,
definitely rather have KOC. So like
yeah,
I just feel like our 1-2, like they're both up there. A lot of
yeah,
teams, they might have a good OC, but their defense coordinator sucks, or vice versa. And both of ours are just elite. Like you said, those schemes that Flores is throwing out there, it's insane. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. I am in love with Brian Flores. That dude has absolutely changed my idea of how defenses should be played. And think about a couple years ago, we were dealing with Ed Donatel's bum ass. So this has been quite a change for us on the defensive side of the things. That's for sure. Sam Darnold, though, Spinny. How about this, man? Holy shit. He is first in the NFL in touchdowns, second in passer rating, and fifth in QBR. I'll be the first to say it. I was not a Darnold believer whatsoever. Even going into this season, everyone's like, oh, well, if he had better weapons and better line, well, guess what he had in San Fran? Better weapons and better O line. He couldn't beat Brock Purdy out for the job. Everyone talks about how average Brock Purdy is, right? So that's why I had all these skepticisms coming in. But man, Darnold has completely blown away any expectation I had for him.
it's awesome, bro. He is like, we are just seeing the good from him. Like, what it reminds me of a
Yeah.
lot, honestly, is MVP season before he got hurt, Carson Wentz. That's what Sam Darnold looks like to me right now. Where it's like
Yeah, I can see
we're
that.
getting the greedy, risky stuff, and sometimes like 2 or 3 times a game, you're getting moments where you're like, "Frick me,
Yeah.
man! Like, what in the is he doing?" Like the shovel pass, and it's like, dude, just take the sack. Like, just take the sack and go home. So you're gonna get those moments. But then we've seen some Andrew Luckish moments from Sam Darnold as well this year, where it's like super physical, break out of the pocket, make a great
Yeah.
play, throw in that intermediate. He's been loving that 15 to 25-yard range.
Yes.
It's just absolutely cooking in there. And Jefferson is the absolute best receiver in the NFL, getting wide open between 15 and 25. Man
Yep.
loves it. Man is unbelievable at it. And so I think that those two together have really worked from that perspective. We do not even have Jordan Addison yet, and we do not
No
even have
Hawkinson.
Brock Hawkinson yet.
Yeah.
So, like, this is just, like, our offense is performing so well, and this is just the start. Not to mention 5.4 carry Aaron Jones, which we can get to later, but Darnold's performance has been unbelievable.
I mean, what I really love about him, like you said, the 15 to 20-yard passes. He's not scared to throw them. So many QBs in today's NFL just throw near the line of scrimmage. Think of guys like Daniel Jones, obviously, is the first guy to come to mind, right? At the line of scrimmage or 5 yards. Like, that's the max they're throwing. They're completely reliant on their receivers to get yak, you know. But Darnold, he's just launching them down the field. He just doesn't care. He's letting Jefferson, letting Jalen Naylor. He's been huge, 3 touchdowns for Naylor. Him and Jets are the only ones with 3 touchdowns or have a touchdown in every single game. I mean, so um, just the risk. I personally love that. Like, I hate quarterbacks that are so timid. So just to see Darnold embrace that risk is just, I love seeing that.
Even Brandon Powell, we're getting Timu Tyreek in there.
Yeah.
My favorite nickname right now on the Vikes. Uh yeah, Darnold has been really, really impressive this year. And it kind of out like, is my pre-draft take on Sam Darnold finally gonna come true 5 years
Spinnies.
later for my own squad? It's gonna
Yep.
be the long term. Next Dubs and L's segment, we're definitely using that if that happens.
Oh, you're counting it as a dub now?
Like a year from now, when Darnold takes us to the NFC Championship game and be like, oh, was this kind of a dub back in the beginning of Hard Headed Sports? I don't know. It could be
Hey,
an interesting take for me.
kept your Darnold stock for the longest time, man.
Yeah,
You
we've
can
been
do it.
investing
You can do
in
it.
that stuff
Yeah.
hardcore. We love it.
Oh my gosh. Last but not least, though, obviously we need to talk a little more about this Brian Flores defense. I think we've had some great performances by, basically every player on the defensive end. Obviously, especially Pat Jones, Jonathan Greenard. They're absolutely getting in there, wreaking havoc on the passing game. They're both tied for third in the NFL in sacks at 4. So we have 2 guys in the top 5 already. We're first as a team in sacks. We are second in interceptions, second fewest rushing yards allowed, second in points per game allowed, only 10 points per game allowed. Spinny, do we have the best defense in the league?
No. But I do think we potentially have the second best defense in the league.
Who's
Let's
better?
be honest
Steelers?
right now. The defense in Pittsburgh is
Ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, like, as long as TJ Watt is healthy, that defense is probably going to be better than ours.
That's
But
fair.
outside of them, I do think there's a case to be made that we do.
I agree.
The use of personnel by Flores, putting everyone in positions of strength for them. We've seen like just so many guys doing little things. Van Ginkel just getting hands on the ball 24/7, getting turnovers, doing crazy stuff. Blake Cashman, right? Might be under
Minnesota
athletic.
boy.
Minnesota boy might be under athletic, might not always be great in the passing game, but is a sure tackler. Put him in the middle. Man hasn't missed a tackle this year. He's working sideline to sideline, flying around, right? Putting people in their best positions to be successful. Grenard throwing him around everywhere on the line, right? Getting him in different positions, helping him around. Pat Jones has been loving the free blitz, right? Getting in as our 6 guys against 5 and making the other teams pay for it. been super good at that. Harrison Phillips, huge reason for our rushing defense. Has been everywhere, blowing up two-man blocks like it's literally his job, which I guess it is, but he's been killing it. Hands on the ball in the passing game. Our secondary, just, we can't draft a corner to save our gosh darn lives, so screw it. Let's just go out and sign everybody. Gilmore's throwing around tackles like he's Brian Urlacher, like just Earl Thomas and people. Just crazy to me. Harrison Smith's playing corner.
Hello.
Last year we thought he couldn't get to a ball as a safety, and now he's playing corner 10% of snaps. Murphy's great in the slot and across the middle as he's been his whole career. And then Shaquille Griffin just has been really smart, making great plays, not to mention Cam Bynum being a real over-the-top guy, playing well in his role there. Everyone is in a role that they can be successful and has been successful at it throughout the year. And on top of that, the IQ of everyone has been so high that you can switch positions, play anywhere, do any crazy stuff. And it wasn't even mentioned, the guy on our defense who's probably the best at that, Josh Metellus, and the year that he's had as well.
And this all ties back to the man himself, Brian Flores. His schemes, his system, the confidence he instills in these players. I've seen a lot of sideline, videos of him talking to the guys. Like, you can tell he actually genuinely cares about his players. And that's why it's so easy for these guys to buy into what he's saying. And everything is just coming together now. Obviously, we saw the steps we took last year, and now we're just even extending that even farther. So vibes have been great, to say the least, for the Vikes through 3 weeks. Hopefully, we can keep that shit rolling this week at Lambeau Field, Spinny, at Lambeau.
Vikes over Packers, Sunday at Lambeau. I think it's Packers -2 right now. So we're loving the Vikes because it's either Love at half health or Malik Willis in a game that we're definitely winning. So love to see it on Sunday.
Bring them cheeseheads on.